Hey, what's up? How you doing? This is Bens Farel with Thinking Out Loud. Hey, we got another one, right? This is about a student that pepper sprayed a teacher because the teacher confiscated her phone. Shabbatari news. Yes. So, a teacher in Tennessee high school who confiscated a student phone was subsequently pepper sprayed by his student. News sources confirm a video which surfaced on Reddit on Monday 5th showed the assault on, I don't know how to pronounce this high school name, Antog, Antog. I don't have time to talk to AI and tell her, hey, how you say this? Well, you can read it right here. Which racked up millions of views. The teacher was previously decked in the face approximately 2 months before in a separate incident. And the district told by news sources that disciplinary action was taken in both incidents and were reported to the police. Mace? Mace is crazy, a student behind the camera said in the classroom. She just makes the teacher. Nah. The video then shows the student following the teacher outside of the classroom. She just effing pepper sprayed me, the teacher said. She tries to reach for her phone, saying, give me my phone. She repeatedly demanded her phone and then proceeded to pepper spray the teacher from behind. Debauchery. The teacher fell onto his knees and started screaming. As the teacher was on the ground, the student tried to grab her phone again, unsuccessfully. There's something about these phones and these students. I jumped on Spotify and talked about this. I was like, yo, these kids are ridiculous, especially with these phones. We're in a new day of age where you have to educate these students in a different forum. You see what I'm saying? You're not having their attention no more. The only thing that has their attentions are the cell phones. So that means you need to bring up a new incentive on teaching these kids. Right? Right. I know I'm right. Moving along. She wanted her phone back. The teacher told another faculty member, the girl pepper sprayed her. Okay. Well, you took my phone, the student replied. Can I have my phone back? So this is the incident. As you can see, they have to block out the student's face because they can't have, she's an adolescent. Uh, okay, well, you took my phone and stuff because the student replied, can I have my phone? I need my phone. You could just imagine in your mind. No, you can't have your phone, the teacher said. He proceeded to call from the pepper spray. The district released a statement to news sources, which said the student received disciplinary action and that the incident was reported to the police. hmm So the pepper spray incident at Anti High School represents a serious violation of law in our school policies, and the student involved has received appropriate disciplinary consequence in accordance with the student parent handbook. An incident report was filed on Friday with the Metro Nashville Police Department. This happened in Nashville, Tennessee. Through the school's SRO for further investigation, and the teacher received immediate medical assistance from the school nurse. The statement read, due to the FERPA's student privacy protection, I'm not able to publicly share the specific disciplinary consequences for a student. So there was another incident similar to this. I believe it was in North Carolina. It went viral on Instagram where uh, this is a whole different situation, but similar to this, where a lady teacher confiscated a phone from one of the students and she got upset and she had the audacity to raise her hand and try to fight the teacher. And ultimately, the teacher did fight back and stand her ground, but ultimately, that particular teacher got, you know, she lost her job. So you already know. You could just imagine what happened. So this is a whole different situation right here. And
Where? In America.
this is a whole different situation right here. So like like you got to come up with a new incentive. The lawmakers got to come up with a brand new incentive on how to educate these kids. So
Name's Kent Pickell, and I'm superintendent of schools here in Rochester, Minnesota. We're actually at about the same level of disciplinary incident in our school district as we were historically before the pandemic. So historically, we've had about 3,000 incidents per year, and for this school year that's just ended, we've also had about 3,000. That said, obviously, people have been very concerned about it. They've felt it. It's an interesting question as to, even though the level is the same, why has there been a perception of real concern? And I share that concern deeply. Is it because everybody had just spent a year or maybe 2 years where there was no discipline and suddenly people felt those issues? Or was it that the number was the same, but the severity maybe was different? There's only so much value in trying to compare to the past. The real question is what's happening now. I'm super concerned about it. I don't want to suggest that it's not priority one for us, not because like our schools are raging out of control at all, but because we want our schools to be absolutely 100% safe and focused on learning. And the other piece of it is we know that the punitive discipline alone, because we tried that for 15 years, where it was zero excuses, and that doesn't work either. That never promotes a behavior change. It actually just enhances a defiance. And we know that safety is central to kids being able to learn. If you're not safe and you don't feel you can learn, you can't do it. And so the two B's that we've been using to kind of guide our efforts are belonging and behavior. Belonging meaning taking steps to be sure that every kid is known, feels accepted, feels affirmed, it has a connection, but then also having very clear standards for behavior. So when I got here, we did reaffirm that, yes, you can suspend kids. In our school district and others in the past, there had been some understandable reluctance to do that because if a kid's not in school, they're not learning. That said, sometimes you do need to actually, both for the student and for the other kids in the class, you need to remove them from that environment. And so we made very clear that that was a tool that our principals had. We made sure there were clear standards for it. We made sure they were evenly applied. If you were sitting there and you were looking at someone else being given a very different consequence for the same behavior, it would start to delegitimate the expectations. That's where you lose the effort to build these positive norms of like being serious, hardworking students and behaving and treating each other well is just the way we do things here. It's not because like I'm going to get a special ticket or a pizza party at the end of the week. And it's not because I'm afraid of getting suspended. It's because like I'm a seventh grader, but I know that I actually come to school. I like being in school, and I know the expectations. And if kids are feeling like those expectations are being applied differently based on whatever, you start to lose their buy-in to the system. And so we just have been very attentive to trying to be sure that when we do use disciplinary tools, which we, as I've said a number of times, definitely have and will continue to do, that we're applying them equitably and fairly is probably even a better word than that, because it's pretty clear. Like I think all of us understand fairness. The biggest thing that we are going to be focusing on going forward is what we and others are really calling deeper learning. And that sounds a little fuzzy, but what it really means is that you're very serious about academic knowledge, skills, core concepts, reading, math, science, but critically, the ability to apply those concepts to solve real world problems, to actually, whether you're working in an auto shop or you're a scientist at the Mayo Clinic up the street from me, you are able to take what you learn academically and apply it to the kinds of situations that we know really open the doors of opportunity. Again, whether you're in a very professional academic setting or you're doing the kind of jobs that we really need here in Rochester and elsewhere, where people are more applied and what we used to think of kind of as career and technical fields. So that's really, really central to what we're going to be doing.
see, like I said, uh, like I straight up said, bro, you need to come up with an incentive to teach these kids, because, like I said, we're in a new day and age, and you do not have the attentions of these students no more. So you need a brand new method, a new way of learning and educating to get the attention I don't even think you need a chalkboard anymore. That's obsolete. You probably need a big old screen. You're gonna need internet services, 100%. So I believe these incidents are gonna continue going on forward if they don't come up with a brand new way of educating these kids. Just basically what that's just how I basically believe. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna keep having these incidents. So it's gonna get worse if they don't change their ways of educating. So this is Bens Farel, thinking out loud. Subscribe to the YouTube channel because I'm gonna keep on coming with it. Uh, have a lovely day.